Our daughter disclosed that her brother essayed her in November of 2023. And I think people have this idea in their minds of how they would react if that were said to them. I don't know that you know how you would. I didn't know how I would react. So I'm going to tell you how I reacted. She shared with me one evening after school. Our son was not at home. He was staying with our older daughter. I listened, validated, went in my car and screamed and cried because I could not believe that this is where we were at. The next day I called and made a report to CPS, could be DCFS in your area, started the whole investigation process. They came out and talked to her, set up a forensic interview for her. My one request of them was that they not tell our son anything was happening. I did not want them talking to him until they absolutely had to, because I knew he would run. I knew he would run away if he knew what was happening, because we had at this point like 7 years of fully denying that anything had ever happened, on repeat over and over again. And I knew this was going to push buttons in an already unstable kid. Didn't want to risk that. So I asked them not to talk to him. She did her forensic interview. That came back as, yes, this most definitely did happen. So they set up an interview with him. I was the one who got to go pick him up from our daughter's house, drive him to the interview, tell him where we were going. He was not happy about that because clearly he didn't do it. We walked into the interview. There was a caseworker, CPS worker there, and a detective. The CPS worker asked him general life questions. How's school? How's home? What do you do for hobbies? That kind of stuff, which our son answered all of those questions. The detective read him his rights, and our son immediately asked for a lawyer. At that point, the interview was over. Our son walked out. The detective let me know they would not be pursuing charges. That was it. That was it. What I knew at that point was that I had a healing child at home and another child who had no consequences. I am the consequences. Parents are the consequences, which seems really unfair in the grand scheme of things, that the person who is supposed to love and care for and be the soft place to fall and we're also the consequences, because there are no other consequences. We placed him in a disability services group home because we had nowhere else to place him. CPS had no other options for us. They told us we could move our daughter somewhere else and bring him home. We said absolutely not. She is not leaving our house. He was in a group home from February until June of 2024. He was running away constantly, using substances. This was clearly all unfair. We were punishing him because he didn't do anything. Clearly didn't do anything. In June of 2024, he went into a secure inpatient facility. While he was there, I went into one of our family therapy sessions and I asked his therapist if I could push a few buttons. And I did. I asked some very point-blank questions and I got answers. He admitted to everything, which I think should feel like a relief in some ways, and yes. And also, I still have to carry a healing child and another child. I have 2 lives that I'm still carrying. I'm still a mom to 2 children. That doesn't change. I have 2 children, one who was hurt, one who did the hurting and has no consequences for it, who admitted to doing it and has no consequences for it. You don't know how you'll react because you're still the parent. You're still the parent of both people, and you still love both people. Even if you think in your mind, well, I'm going to automatically have all this anger and all this hatred and all this, you're still the parent. That is